Let me go ahead and turn this TV down. Hold on. Turn on my light show. All right, what's happening, people? What is going on? Certainly glad you're here on this early Saturday morning. Hopefully you got yourself some coffee and donuts. We can go ahead and start getting into it. Several things have happened this week. That's why I was waiting to podcast. I knew that Sony was going to have their meeting. They've answered all the questions, all of them. We no longer have to worry about what they're going to say and what they're going to do, at least for this year. I want to make this clear. For this year, we have what they're doing, okay? We have what they're doing. We understand that it's going to be they're not doing, we got it. They're not doing day and date on PC. They've confirmed it, at least for this year. I want you all to really understand that. You also have the Asus-Xbox that's now an Xbox, even though Microsoft didn't build the damn thing. They simply are putting software on it. We'll start with that. But first of all, I want everybody to know the Discord is open. If any of you all want to come in here and get the work, go ahead and defend your positions. You PC tards, let's go ahead and we can start with you. I'll go ahead and go to the, let's see here. Let's go to the 60 frames, no lag one. There we go. So if you don't know, Porter Rock's got dark on 2 p.m. Eastern time today. So that's roughly 3, 4, 4.5, 5 hours from this point. Porter Rock will be on doing his thing. Okay. So he's got dark on that. They didn't do it last night. Short scheduling conflict. But you can go ahead and check that out. I think it's the second time dark's been on. But that Porter Rock's podcast is entertaining. So shout out to him. Also, Persona and Jay Barry. They have their podcast coming on at 11. I promise you we'll be out of here by 10:30 because I'm over here playing this Hitman game and these two targets, and I don't know if this is Santa Monica or somewhere in golly, what's the name of it? Italy maybe. I got both of them and I got to destroy this virus. I had forgotten how to destroy the virus. So, but anyway, moving on. What have you all been playing? And did you see anything at the shows that happened that you were gonna buy? Yes, I did buy Mind's Eye. I think the game is okay. The game is woke, okay, and so I'm enjoying the wokeness of the game. And so that is for me. Now it got a big update yesterday because when I came home, it had a long ass update. So not sure what that update is. I've been playing Hitman and college football. The Hitman, like I said before, they added Summer Game Show. They added Mads Mikkelsen to one of your missions. So again, make sure you check that out if you already have it. It's actually I'm playing through the whole thing, and I'm gonna go back and play the Mads Mikkelsen thing, which is free for I think another week and a half. So shout out to them for doing that. But give yourselves a round of applause. A lot of you all here. We got a few people here. So we'll go ahead and get started. So here's what we're going to start out with. And I'm just going to go over to my own podcast here. If you don't mind me tooting my own horn. Let me go here. Let me go that. And let me find it here. No, it's right here. I'm sorry. My little GF. Now I'm just trying to go to. There's that. Doesn't have my. Oh, there we go. All right. So, you have. Let's start with the Asus ROG. Okay. So what has happened here? Because it was confusing. And I do agree with what was being said on Crossfire. Shout out to Crossfire. Microsoft have created this stupid back and forth to confuse you all. I agree with them. This is simple. If you just look at Microsoft's DNA, Microsoft does not build a PC. There's no such thing as a PC called Microsoft. There are handheld devices. They have a laptop. They have the Surface, which can be a laptop or it can be just a regular tablet. Okay? They make those things. That's the hardware that they put their software in. The Asus ROG, by definition, is an Asus device, all right, that's ran by Microsoft software. So it's the equivalent of you buying a PC, and let's just say you buy a PC and you don't have an operating system on it. You are trying to decide between Windows, the Apple iOS, whatever that thing is called, and then you have Linux. So Microsoft makes software that runs hardware, that helps hardware run. It interfaces with it. It helps you get to where you need to go. That's what. And again, shout out to Microsoft. I'm not knocking that. This is what they do. Okay, it's Google makes phones as well as they make a search engine, but there is no computer called Google. And there are laptops. I'm talking about personal computers, desktops. Microsoft does not make a Microsoft PC. There are PCs that use Microsoft's software to run it. This is what the Asus ROG is going to do. This is what your Asus ROG is going to do. Now, my understanding is the Asus ROG X, or one of these two, there's two of them. One of them doesn't even play Xbox games natively. They have Xbox Anywhere, and it's going to play through the cloud. So it's crazy to hear these people talking when, one, they're bragging. Here's what they're talking about, and I told you guys that's what this has always been about. So I'm going to toot my own horn. You need to understand, these cats don't like the fact that Microsoft is putting games on PlayStation. So now here comes this Asus ROG, which again, the Asus ROG A or Ally or whatever that is called, and the Steam Deck and the Lenovo, it plays. It already plays these games. So I don't know why it's a big deal. If you buy the PlayStation Portal, let's just say you buy Forza on their PlayStation Portal. All right? On your PlayStation Portal. In theory, because I don't know how the portal works, somebody can correct me, and that's perfectly fine. Is it, if I buy the portal and I buy Forza Horizon, I'm then playing an Xbox game on my portal, even though I'm not going to buy the portal because I don't like small screens. That's just, I get it. It's generational. It's like a friend of mine said, your generation, desktop. His generation, laptop. The next generation, the little devices, whether they're tablets or their phones. Tablets are going to make a comeback, and it is what it is. Tablets are making a comeback, so good for them. If you don't have a tablet yet, you will be able to get your hands on some tablets. But I want to say this, and this is important. We've gone from a group of people saying 12 T-flops, 52 CUs, VRR, VRS, whatever else they can throw in, ray tracing, full RDNA 2, everything's going to be better on the Xbox. They have been condensed to talking about something on, let me grab this here. Now remember, 12 T-flops, 52 CUs, VRR, VRS, full RDNA 2, HDR, all games are going to look and run better. They've been reduced to this. A phone, a tablet, a handheld. All right? This is just me being real. It's what they've been reduced to doing this. That's them. That is them. So now, the Xbox handheld, that's the one that Microsoft was going to physically, pay to have fabricated and things like that. Fabricated mean made, so you all know that. They have canceled that. They're not doing that. They they did this as a test run to see if this sells, so that they can go ahead and fabricate their own device. Now, their personal, their slash console is going to do the same thing because it's going to be open source. They're just going to put Xbox on it. So yes, you will be able to buy that device. I could buy it. You could buy it. Okay. You can buy that device, and then it'll play Steam. It's going to play Steam. It's going to play Epic. It's just going to let you load whatever store you want and then go get it. It's just they're going to have a device that you have at home. And again, it's not going to be big. I want to make this clear. From what I saw, it's going to be a small device that goes on the side of your television. It's going to. I mean, it's going to look. I don't know. It's not going to be big. It's just going to kind of be a companion device that is going to, it will have cloud capability. It will also have the ability to go to the Microsoft Store. You'll have the ability to go to the GRG or GOG. Oh, man, hold on. Somebody's calling. Hold on. My bad. I do apologize. They always call in the middle of my podcast. Hold on. All right, sorry. So, and that's what you're going to be able to do. So, Microsoft has turned their quote Xbox console, if you want to call it that, into open sourced hardware that's going to allow you to go to Epic Game Store, GRG, whatever that's called, GOG, whatever that is called, Steam. It's going to go to that. The only store that does not exist yet, and this is for you GD ponies. I'm trying to clean up the language. There's people going to Chick-fil-A getting some Jesus chicken here. The only group that does not have its own store yet, and they're working on it, is Sony PlayStation. Again, this is why I told you all, this is why I told you all 60 frames no lag. Sony is going to eventually have their own store, like a PC store. They're just going to be able to go and source. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen, all right? Just play it. You can call it PC Plus. I think that's what they're aiming to. It's going to be something like that, and they're just going to take care of that. They're going to do it. And then that may also be eligible to be on the Xbox devices. Again, that's what they are. They are, well, I'm sorry. These are Ace. This is the same thing that the Asus ROG, I think that's what it's called, does now. This is the same thing that the Steam Deck does now. This is the same thing that the Lenovo does now. It's just Xbox is they've created software to run on these other platforms. It's the same thing I'm doing now. I'm running Windows 10. I don't have a Windows 10 PC. There's no such thing. I can't go to the store and say, I want a Windows 10 PC. What I can do is go to the store and buy a computer or buy something that's sourced that has Windows 10 or Windows 11. I have Windows 11 on it. So, yeah, that's a very powerful white woman at that Chick-fil-A that's getting your order. I understand. So, I was going to go to Chick-fil-A this morning, but I ended up doing Burger King, getting the bacon, egg, and cheese croissants. But off of the menu stuff. Let's see here. Where am I at with this? All right. So as long as you all can understand, put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. So let me make this clear. Clear as mud, right? Asus, that's the name of the company. Asus or ASUS. They're a company that has made hardware. Let's just say this phone is Asus. Okay? And on this hardware, Microsoft has said, we want you all to make the hardware. Okay, here's the hardware. But we at Microsoft are going to create the software. Let's just say this is the software that's going to run on it. And because it's not made, they can openly source through through Windows wherever they want you to go buy your games. So yes, you can buy PlayStation games, but and again, this has been done with Asus already. Hopefully, I'm saying it right. I pronounce it Asus, but if it's pronounced another way, that's fine. They that's what happened this week. And again, Microsoft doesn't make the whole device. Microsoft is not fabricating that device. They are simply just installing their operating system on it. That's it. That's it. That's all they're doing. It'd be no different than if Apple wanted to sue to get access to Apple could sue to get access to this device. They can if they want to. If Apple wanted to say, well, damn it, we have the Apple Play Store, whatever Apple game, whatever it is they call it, right? Don't they have their own game store? And we want our stuff, and you may be able to source it already. I don't know. And we want our stuff to be able to do this. What's up, Ice Queen? How you doing? The Queen of Ice. Saw that you're gonna go see your favorite boy band, so have a good time, Ice Queen. Shout out to Ice Queen. She's gonna go listen to that BTS. Yeah, this is not President Trump's birthday. It's also like the 200 something anniversary of the Army, so they're doing a parade for birthday parade and everything. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. So hopefully that is clear to you all. That's what's happened. So again, what this comes down to is a group of people who just want to be able to say, well, we don't have to buy a PlayStation to play PlayStation games, but they've been reduced to this size screen. This is a 7-inch screen. All right, I have a 7-inch screen. So go figure. Go figure. So what's up, Art? Art, you are up early, man. Art, you went with like 5 hours last night. If you come back on tonight, I want to come up there tonight so I can talk about this thing called a FD signifier and how everything can collate back to what Dr. T.S.on Johnson said. So if you can come on tonight, and this Saturday, grown-ass man, I know you got your own thing to do, but if you want to come on tonight for a couple hours, hit me up and I'll jump on there with you. So I only have to be on there for 20 minutes. So then I can take some questions and I'll bounce like a jet. All right, shout out to Art, man. He's doing a lot of things. But, man, Art was up late last night because I woke up at 1 something Eastern time and you were still on. Shout out to Art. But salutations to Art. Live long and prosper. So that's what happened this week with Microsoft. Also what happened was what? Gears of War is now on PlayStation. I've got it loaded right now, so if anybody wants to play the beta, we can go ahead and play it. Just hit me up, or is that what you kids say? Pull up. I don't know what you kids say anymore. Pull up. Yeah. AB will be on. I'll try to jump on AB. I thought AB was on last night, though. But maybe I read it wrong. I could have read that wrong. What's up, Cyber Dragon? So Gears of War, a game. Let's get to gaming now. Gears of War is now, which I can't believe I'm saying this. Gears of War was one of those games that if you had an Xbox 360, you said, oh my God, I'm so happy I got an Xbox 360. It is now coming to PlayStation. It is now coming to PlayStation, which is unbelievable. So now you've got 2 of the 3 Infinity Stones that Microsoft has. You got the only thing you're missing now is Halo, which is rumored to be coming next year. Like when they bring Halo back, Master Chief Returns or something like that. I think that's what it's kind of being billed as. When the Master Chief and Cortana and all them return, it will be on PlayStation for the first time. So, anti-woke and grifters are whining and crying. Yeah, there's always going. But when people figure out a way to make money. We saw it here with the PlayStation 5 Pro, as I call the precious. This is my precious. So with the Pro, you had all those guys grifting, saying don't buy it. Who's it for? Plugged into the Rage farm. What's it called? Engagement farming engagement. They did that shit. Is crazy. So I have Mind's Eye and I'm enjoying it. It's woke. I support all things woke. So if it's woke, you won't go broke because I'll support you. They're saying that Fantastic Four is woke. It ain't even been previewed. I mean, you can't, if you see it early, you can't come out and say anything about it because they'll put your ass in prison. You sign all the. I've been to early review movies, and you do have to sign legal documentation. They take your driver's license and everything. They take a picture of you holding your driver's license, and then you have to sign NDA saying that you can say that I saw it, but you can't really talk about it. But you can say you saw it. Like, I'm in line to see Fantastic Four in a couple of weeks, like, already. Like, I already have, like, a sneak preview of it. But where was I? Okay, Gears of War. So if you all want to play Gears of War, and as you kids would say, pull up. I think that's what you kids say. If y'all want to pull up and play that, just let me know, because I will be on for most of the day. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat the rain. I'm assuming I'm not. I do need to go to the Dollar Tree Plus, because you got the Dollar Tree and you got Dollar Tree Plus. I do want to go to Dollar Tree Plus, but I might. It doesn't look like I'm going to make it this morning because I'm here talking to you all. I could have done a walk and talk, but I didn't want to. And yeah, I play Helldivers. Also, this so people, I'm going to put a squad together for Ready or Not and Arma. And so, if anybody wants to play that, Gears as well, if you all want to play that, just hit me up or pull up. What do you guys want to say? National Guard, ICE Los Angeles. My opinion on that, I support the ICE raids. I support them because there's people here illegally. I mean, again, to me, self-deport, get $1,000, get on their waiting list to come back into the country. That's all you can do. Why people are out there protesting ICE raids is beyond me. Like, it's literally you're going up against. Let me tell you this: the security services. Here's what the United States does very well. Matter of fact, they made it a line in a movie. This is an actual line by the CIA. There was a movie that came out called Taken. The movie was just okay, but in the movie, the tagline was, "I will find you and I will kill you." That's actually out of the CIA. All right, the CIA, the United States Security Services do two things very well. They find you and they eliminate you. That's what they do well. Okay? That's what they do. They eliminate you. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So, but yeah, I don't see why they're. I mean, I understand some form of protest. Okay, fair enough. Go out there, apply because if I wanted to go and protest and say Big Macs are bad for your health, I would have to go get the license, come out, and they may say, well, you can protest from 2 to 4, but you got to stay, 100 feet away from McDonald's. So I stand across the street and I say, honk your horn if you think Big Macs are bad for you. That is fine. Guess what? The police will show up there. Let's say I'm supposed to do it 2 to 4. Police will show up at 3:30. They will remind me. I'm putting that in air quotes. They will remind me that I need to go in a half hour. Fine. Let's say at 3:50, I pack up and go. Guess what? I won't have a problem. I protested. Constitutional right, protected activity. What they're doing is just destructive behavior, and I don't know why they're trying to drag black people into it. So, because it's not our fight. It's just not our fight. So, I mean, I say self-deport if you're illegal and just get your $1,000, G, and move on. I mean, I'm for that. I'm pro-immigration, but it needs to be done legally. Now, if you want to say, well, Congress is dragging their feet, okay, that's fine. That's a different argument. It's a different argument. Ice Queen says that she's doing okay, and you're going to book on the 20th of October. Oh, to see Westlife again? All right, yeah, that's BTS, isn't it? Isn't like all these groups called BTS now? I like BTS. I actually found them online, and these girls are going nuts doing these reaction videos of some song called Butter. I thought that was cool. Then I found out Butter was came out in 2021. Like, oh my God, I'm so old. Did they fix matchmaking problems for which game? Which game? So, PBS funding got cut. Funding, is that what you mean? Yeah, I know. But again, this administration, and guess what? If a new administration comes in, guess what they'll do? They'll just refund it. I mean, that's what they're going to do. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Ghost of Yote, yeah, I'm buying. I've already got that reserved or bought. Expedition 33, for me, it's just okay, but I get it. People are just loving that game. Just, and that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I think even the people that created Stellar Blade, didn't they say that that game is game of the year? And I think I heard, and I agree with Lono, that the only game that might be able to derail Expedition 33 is Death Stranding. Comes out in a couple weeks. Westlife is a boy band. Ain't BTS a boy band? Have they fixed Gears? That I don't know. That I do not know. I don't. So, because I was on last night for about 10 minutes. I was waiting on J-Dub, but he never jumped on. So I turned everything off like at 11:40-ish. That's how I know that art was still on. That's how I knew the art was on, right? So, but that's what's going on. We have Gears of War coming out to the PlayStation, and these guys do not like it. Trust me. And they're going crazy. They're going nuts. They're going batshit crazy. It is what it is. It is what it is. Expedition 33 was woke. I think the game is good. So I'm not. If it wins Game of the Year, that's fine. I'm just saying that my Game of the Year so far is Mass Effect, and it was always gonna be my Game of the Year. Yeah, I've already got my Superman ticket, so I'm good on Superman and on Fantastic Four. I'm good on both. So I'm doing, so I'm good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. All right. So, but again, Microsoft has a whole system that they didn't make that is now called an Xbox. I mean, that's like saying in my hat here, if everybody wants to know what's on my hat, these things here, that's the infrared system I use on my flight sim game, which I will play later today. When I get off of here, I'll try to set all that up so you all can rock out with me on a mission. And, so we're going to go ahead and go to the big store. You think Halo and Starfield next to come to PlayStation? Possibly. I think Starfield and Flight Sim are both coming this year. But we'll find out. I mean, that's all I can really say. Because Microsoft is, to their credit, they are doing a little bit at a time. But my understanding is the Flight Sim game and Starfield are already on the Sony store. They just haven't unlocked it yet. But it's already there. Hellblade 2. Yeah, I mean, are you all going to buy Hellblade 2? If you bought Hellblade 1. So yeah, I'm buying Hellblade 2 because I enjoyed Hellblade 1. So, got to support the devs. Can't change that. Nah, not big on Call of Duty Black. Although this Call of Duty was actually pretty cool. Your enemy was a woman, was a female. So she was a woman whose kids, as a child, the CIA eliminated both her parents. So she turned on the CIA. That's her motivation. Everything else though with the MK, whatever that stuff is, MK13, whatever it's called, whatever that stuff is, MK Ultra, that's what it's called, MK Ultra. All that stuff that is like folklore stuff. That is the MK Ultra can control your mind. It's like mood altering, can control your mind. So it's all alleged. Okay. So Nintendo Switch 2 selling it. Yeah, again, I can touch on the Switch real fast. Remember, people told you it wasn't worth it. It wasn't going to do anything. Nobody was going to buy it. Yet here it is, the top selling whatever in history. So just, guys, that's why I said before, we just got to wait. All you have to do is wait on the numbers to come out. And, wait for the numbers to come out. And then you do your thing. Now, I've been saying that for years. Hey, just wait. You don't have to say anything. Just wait on your numbers. So, you think anti-woke hate women because they want escape? Oh, okay. Now, I don't know. Like I said, hold on. If you're anti-woke, that means that you're against wokeness. You had to redo that in my brain. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So, I just know that all the games I've been playing this year are woke. So I'll be playing Hellblade. I've played Mind's Eye. I've played Assassin's Creed. And Assassin's Creed is woke. So, it just is. It's a woke game. I mean, it was, they had people saying that, they had people saying that the Japanese don't like Assassin's Creed because it's culturally disrespectful. Meanwhile, the Japanese like, well, we already know about this stuff, so because they learn about it in school. So unfortunately, the anti-woke people don't learn shit from Shine Over. But yeah, shout out to Nintendo, successful launch. The Gears beta is being downloaded as we speak. A lot of people. That was funny. I mean, it is surreal to see that on PlayStation. You all just don't understand. Like, you all don't get it. You all don't understand. So, I'm a Muppets boy. Didn't watch Sesame Street as a kid. Watched Romper Room. I was a Romper Room kid. So, Romper Room, Great Space Coaster. That's what I watched as a kid. Never watched Sesame Street. So, nobody likes it. Everybody, yeah, well, that's an early game of the year. People got to remember that game, Monster Hunter, Expedition 33, those are your 3 shoe-in, and probably Death Stranding will be part of the whole thing. It'll be part of the whole this whole notion. So, but what games did you all see that you all are really interested in? The Mass Effect community is really worried that the next Mass Effect game is not going to be made, and they're already starting. You're seeing it. They're starting to migrate over to that Expanse game. Yeah, Deep Dive, Ghost of Yotei. Yep, that's in a few weeks. Good point. So, Assassin's Creed sold 1 million plus. Yeah. That's true. That is true. So, come on, what, Junior? What do we, expand on that? So, expand on that. What do you mean? But let's go to the big story, the big juicy steak, the porterhouse. It's here right now. Sesame Street was cool in the 70s. I didn't watch it, I promise you. It's not that I don't know about it. But yeah, I was watching Romper Room, and I watched Romper Room, Great Space Coaster, and that was what I watched as a little. That's what I remember watching as a little kid. As far as those, I never watched Sesame Street. So, I just remember kids singing that song on the bus. I'm like, the hell are they? I wasn't like that. I was like, man, what are y'all talking about? Tell me how to get to Sesame Street. What's a Sesame Street? But that was part of Electric Company, right? Was it? I vaguely remember this stuff. So it is what it is. Here, let's go to our big story. I need to pull my own video here. There we go. So we now know that PlayStation ain't going day and date. It is not happening. Get it so facto. It is not going to happen. Here, let me see if I can put the story up. Sony not doing day and date on PC. And I'm trying to see here where in the world this stuff came from. There we go. Let's put this up on the screen for all the quote-unquote you kids call them the haters. Let's put this on the screen so that they can go ahead and hate. And screen capture. None of this. Let's go here. Here we go. There you go. There it is. Read it and weep. Same day PC ports of PS5 games remain unlikely as Sony talks up thoughtful multi-platform approach despite Xbox comparison. So again, I liked what they did here. We're going to read it into the record. All right. It's reported that Assassin's Creed budget was around $500 million, yet they only sold 1 million plus. They sold more than 1 million. So, but again, all that will come out here in the fall on how much they made or didn't make. So, but yeah, it is what it is. There we go. And let me see here. Let me go to now. Let me find my podcast. Yeah, Prince was great. He was great. Self-taught too. Self-taught. Let me see. Let me go over here. There's that. Let me do. Go find this here. There's that. There's that. All right. So this is coming from the Sony meeting. Coming from the Sony meeting that happened. So we're just going to read this into the record. So where am I at on here? If you click the more button, you'll see what I'm about to read. So here we go. Here it is. So between Herman's quotes on prioritizing exclusives and console, plus PlayStation CEO Nishino's answers, PlayStation execs signal they will not pursue a multi-platform strategy like Xbox. Instead, stick to their existing hybrid tradition, strategy, and high performance focus. All right, but let me say something else. All right, I gotta say something. I forgot about this. Stellar Blade came out on PC. And get this. This is how effed up the PC community is. I'm trying to get my words here. Okay. The PC community is literally running around saying that Stellar Blade is a Sony game, even though Sony did not make the game. Shift Up made the game. All Sony did was publish the game. And they were talking about that like with the China Hero game, Lost Souls Aside. It's like, no, Lost Souls Aside is made by a Chinese studio. It's not a Sony first-party game. Sony is just publishing it as part of China Hero to its consoles. That's what they're doing. So I want you to understand how bad it is for these guys at this point. You have the Xbox community talking about a 7-inch handheld that Microsoft doesn't even make, but they claim is an Xbox. And the PC community going full retard, this is the best way to put it, saying that Lost Souls Aside and Stellar Blade are Sony games. Here's why they're saying it. Because they actually did believe that Sony was going to put their games day and date on PC. So instead, they have to play games like Banana and be happy with it. All right, that's what they got to do. They have to do. All right, but here's the full quotes. All right, from Nishino, hopefully I'm saying his name right, and Herman Holtz, respectively, Sony's executive team, PlayStation's executive team. So I'm sorry, PlayStation CEO and then Herman Holtz. Okay, here we go. Full quotes. This is not going to take long. When asked about Nishino's thoughts on Xbox's multi-platform transition and move away from consoles, here it is. Quote. This is Sony's exact quote. As I mentioned earlier, we are confident and committed on our current strategy. There isn't an urgent need for us to pivot, but we will continue to monitor play patterns appropriately as required. So again, they're not pivoting away from you guys. They're going to, the console is their main focus at this point. Okay. Quote, PlayStation consoles experience is designed for immediate gameplay in an immediate and accessible way. We're doing this in a complete integrated way, designing and manufacturing all aspects from the chips to the back-end system. Pause. Regardless of access, we have many sustainable advantages in our business in store. On our customer side, our first-party exclusive titles enhance our great catalog of third-party content, which is what we've been telling you guys, is that Sony will pop out 2 to 3 AAA games a year from its own developers. They pop a game out every 2-3 games every year. Then they rely on third-party and second-party support, like Shift Up did with Stellar Blade, to augment that, to offset that. That's what they're doing. Shift Up also did DLC for Stellar Blade. You got 2B in there, that are named 2B or not to be, something like that. So let's see here. It says, and many of our players subscribe to Plus, which also keeps players coming back. On whether the new console will focus on cloud gaming. Okay, this is a question asked. Cloud gaming is increasingly providing an additional option for players to access content. But our meaning Sony's belief, is the majority of players continue to want experiences going through a local execution without dependency on network conditions, i.e. they want native gameplay. That's a fancy way of saying they want native gameplay. PS5 and PS5 Pro have validated this thesis, I believe. All right. On whether they should be concerned about Switch 2's increased performance. Again, here's a direct answer. PlayStation 5 is designed for an immersive game experience, and this includes the innovation of the DualSense controller features as well. We believe PlayStation 5 level performance is required to achieve a great experience on big screens. So again, they're targeting big TVs. Nintendo targets this little handheld. That's fine. And in this way, we have provided a unique offering for players and creators in this current console generation. So again, they're not doing day and date. It is over. It is done with. It ain't happening. Get it through your heads. All right? And these guys got so desperate. They got so desperate that that they were saying that, now now at this point in time, Stellar Blade is not even made by Sony. It's a Sony game. It's just, and the handheld that Microsoft makes is not made by Microsoft, but it's still a Microsoft Xbox. That's what are we doing here? I mean, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. All right. So now they're saying, oh, but we can go ahead and play Helldivers 2. Yeah, but you can play Helldivers 2 on a Steam Deck. You can play Helldivers 2 on a Asus ROG. You can play Helldivers 2 on a Lenovo. You can play Helldivers 2 on Steam Deck if you want to. So, you think Nier needs a new game? Yeah, I don't disagree. And Stellar Blade is a cousin to Nier. I'm not against them making a new game. Avatar, Fire, and Ash. Yeah, I saw that. So, I'm saying it is a goatee. Are you talking about Assassin's Creed? I am saying that it will probably get in the Game of the Year category, conversation. Because it is that good of a game. It's a good game. So, I mean, I haven't played it since I started playing Stellar Blade again, but it's a good game. Trust me, it's a good game. So now we know that Sony isn't going day and date. All right. Says the console makers are happy to zig where their rivals at Xbox are zagging and keep big single player exclusives as exclusives for that year in order to try and keep player stock in the PS5 as high as possible. So you got minimum 1 year. That's minimum. That's going to vary. So it says particularly on the single player side, our tentpole titles, there's such a differentiator, and the exec reiterates the point of differentiation, I should say, for the PlayStation console is that they will showcase the performance and the quality of the hardware. That's what they want. They want something to show off the hardware. They're not going to, and PC doesn't do that for Sony because Sony doesn't make graphics cards, so and they don't make PCs, so they're not showing anything off. So, it says here we want to ensure, here it is, that players get the best experience from these titles. We're very thoughtful about how we bring these titles to other platforms. So, all right, got it? You're also, they're not doing day and date. Not for this year. Now, this can change next year. I want to make this clear. But in the foreseeable future, and that's why all of a sudden the PC community has slinked away like a friggin' salamander with grease on it. They're just gone. Okay, they're like, well, we're playing Stellar Blade. Yeah, I got you. You know, that's a Shift Up independent studio game. Shift Up is owned by a studio. Shift Up is a studio in Korea, South Korea, exact, that makes Stellar Blade. It's a publicly traded company. If you were a Korean citizen, I would have said buy stock in that IPO. I would have said that. All right? I would have said that. They talked about Final Fantasy, but Final Fantasy, I remember playing Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2 on Xbox. So, I mean, that's where I beat those games. I beat 13, I beat 13-2. A lot of it with these guys is that they were just upset that PlayStation had games that they didn't have, especially second and third party. they could get over the first party, but they could not get over the second and third party. They were saying things like Sony's money hatting the game. It's crazy. It's nuts, but that's what they were saying. It's not me I'm not putting words in their mouth. That's what they were saying. True story. So here says Sony Interactive Entertainment, better known by its gangster name SIE, CEO Nishino told the same line as Herman Holtz. So they're in lockstep. So here's what Herman Holtz said. It's up here. And then here's what the CEO said, which means they're lockstep in with each other. So they couldn't even say that. Okay, they couldn't even say, oh, well, you know what? The CEO said one thing and Herman Holtz said something different. No. So, says here that they were asked about the Xbox approach. He said that PlayStation will stay alert and listen to players to ensure that we serve them appropriately, which is the most corporate guy combo of words I've ever heard. Yeah. So again, they're in lockstep. They're in lockstep. Okay. So they had a negative reputation, PlayStation, and it's earned itself with the community of games like Helldivers 2 due to its handling of the mandatory linking and its effect on PC gamers in regions where PSN did not operate. Again, okay, they changed that. It is what it is. They got to live and learn. So, with that said, we'll take some questions here because we now know Sony ain't doing day and date. So what say you? No day and date. No day and date. So what is you all, do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea? So what do you all think? So Ice Queen, what do you think? Junior, what do you think? Let's hear from you. Plus Ultra, what do you think? You think that them prioritizing the console, you think that made people happy? Just asking. Just asking. Plus Ultra says it's great news, okay. Because that does guarantee that they're going to put you all first in their console space. This is what it is. Yeah, that Helldivers 2 is Starship Troopers. That's what it is. That's why I said they're making a Helldivers movie. I'm like, well, it's just going to be a Starship Troopers movie. But that's what it is. So we got great from Plus Ultra. And yeah, I think everybody's going to be. Capono says as long as the PlayStation games come to PC, event. Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. Is that you all, the PC community is going to be waiting for a while. They're going to be waiting for a while. And again, if they want to wait, what Sony is saying pretty much is that you don't have to wait, but you got to buy a PlayStation. You know, so and this is going to be the de facto console standard when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes. So I don't know what the PC community is going to do. So, said that bots are just screwed. There are games being announced for the PS5 Switch that are not being announced. Really? What game is that? That I didn't know. What game or games is that happening with? I'm just asking. What do the kids say asking for a friend? Yeah, Star Trek Troopers. I remember going to the movies to see that. So, yeah, that's what Helldivers is. You know, you go down in a drop ship. They call it a hell pod, and then you go. You start, eliminating them. I liked it because you can fire a nuke. I mean, we fired a nuke one time, and and that was funny because I thought you could just press a button and the nuke would launch. Like, nah, that thing's got to format itself. Then it has to tell itself where it needs to go. Then we launch it. It's pretty funny. But you get a pretty cool explosion. So they keep saying Xbox is winning, but Sony. Yeah, I know. But what they're saying now is that, well, I can play this on the Xbox ROG Ally, even though ROG is made by Asus and all Xbox is doing is running the software. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. But this is why I said to you all, just going to stay quiet. Just going to wait for this week to happen because a lot happened this week. Yeah, a lot happened. The Nintendo system came out. You got the ROG thing announcement from Microsoft last week. You got Final Fantasy going to play Xbox. You had what's the name of it? PlayStation announced that controller, that fight stick controller. You just had a whole lot happening this week, which is good. I think that's good news. So I agree. Sony's gonna still have its exclusives, ladies and gentlemen. That's a good thing. I ain't mad at them. All right. So Ghost of Yote deep dive next week. I'm sorry, in a couple of weeks. Kojima's game, Death Stranding 2, in 2 more weeks. I think that's what, the 24th. So it's happening. It's coming. They're all those games are coming. All right. Sinners, Oscars. Okay, well, we'll see what Sinners does. I mean, I'm sure to get nominated for something. It's a solid movie. It's not. I didn't think it was great, but I don't like those type of movies. But I thought it was okay. So, sure the people who like that type of genre movie are loving it. So, but all right then, I'm gonna get on off here. I appreciate you all being on here early this morning. Yeah, you all just hit me up for Gears. I'll be on off and on all day long gaming. Like I said, I do want to go to the store, but it's looking less and less like I'm going to make it. So because of the weather, but I got to do laundry, so that's the most important thing. Nick says, "Where are the sales numbers for FF15? Is that 15 or 16? Well, we won't get sales numbers till next month. All right, you won't get sales number for next month, so I wouldn't even worry about stuff like that, man. To them, and I want to make this clear to you all, it was about just having access, because again, they don't want to live in a world where you have something that they don't have. That's what it is. That's all it is. But I wouldn't worry about sales until next month, and Square Enix will announce sales. Square will announce sales. But you can see right now, all it's about for them online is, that's why Porter Rock started. If you want to know why Porter Rock's doing these debates, because he's tired of the Twitter back and forth. He's just literally saying, here I can send you a link on Friday. I can send you a link on Saturday. What time is good for you? Then all of a sudden, these cats disappear. And because now and again, even Gaz literally got online, and somebody fact checked what he was saying with Gronk. And Gaz came back with, "Why are you fact checking this? This is a parody account." And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm glad Gaz said it's a parody account, because he's a straight clown. But J-Dub made a good point on 60 Frames No Lag when he said that people have created brands, which I didn't realize. Do you all think, put a 1 in the chat if you think people have created a brand. So if they created a brand, then they're just going to play up to the brand. Like Kid Smooth is the best bot. That's his brand. I mean, to me, that's effed up. I mean, I'm cleaning it up for the weekend. I'm trying to be a better person here. I think that's effed up that it did. You heard they sold like 3 out of 300 Xboxes in Japan. Okay. Well, again, I don't know. All that will come out next month. And now it may end up only selling, let's just say it ends up selling 300,000. All right, let's say it sells 300,000. That's fine too. It's all profit for Square Enix. It's all profit from Square Enix. Oh, I see a couple ones in the chats. So yeah, there you go. Another one. Oh, now you're talking. 1. So look, as long as you all understand that that's what this has always been about. It has always been about them saying that, well, you all have something that we don't have. And it made them feel inferior. But right now they feel so inferior that it's like, well, we can play Spider-Man on our 7-inch. Well, yeah, you can play that like right now. If you go to the store right now and get a Steam Deck and you open up your Steam account, you buy Spider-Man through Steam. I guess that's how it works. You can play Spider-Man. Okay? It makes no sense to me, but you know, they just want to be able to say because there's an Xbox front store on it that makes it an Xbox. It's stupid. That is stupid. But all right, guys, I'm going to bounce off. Been on here about an hour. Got some other things I got to do today. But I'll be off and on all day. So I'm going to get on my Jet Sim here in about another hour. So make sure you all swing back by for that Beyond Visual Range combat mission, which means my goal is to take out the enemy planes before we merge. So I'm going to be firing at about 36 miles out. I'm a fire. So that you won't see me dogfighting. You shouldn't. It shouldn't be a knife fight. It should be a standing BBR fight. It's like jab. So, all right then. That's it. That's all I have for you. I'll talk to you guys later. You all have a good one. And have a good rest of the day. Make sure you listen to What's Up PlayStation next on YouTube. And then after that, Porter Rocks podcast with